Dan Wally once said, "Length models are very important in developing the students' understanding of fractions." In this lesson, the students were asked to add fractions with unlike denominators using only fraction strips. Fraction strips are another way of using a picture form to find equivalent fractions. If you look on the left side under the Get Ready, they had an easier task. All they had to do were add the numerators because the denominators were exactly the same, which is a way to do prior knowledge for the students. If you look under the Discover part, the first problem was 3/4 plus 1/8. On the first strip, he divided it into 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts. That is it. On the second fraction strip, he divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 uneven parts. He wrote 1/8 for the first one and 6/8 for the second one. He came to the conclusion that 3/4 equals 6/8. He added 1/8 plus 6/8 to get 7/8. On the second part, he had 2/5 plus 1/2. He divided the first part into 1, 2, 3, 3 uneven parts. On the bottom strip, he divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parts, but he put that each part equaled 1/10, which indicates that he knew that the common denominator for 5 and 2 was 10. Therefore, he divided 2 by 5 and 5 by 2, and also divided 1 by 5 and 2 by 5, which gave him the opportunity to do 1/10 on the bottom bar. On the right side, he was asked, how can you exchange 3 1/4 fraction bars to 6 1/8 fraction bars? He said they are equivalent, 3/4 and 6/8, but there is no logical reasoning behind this question. On the right side, where it said under Explore More, it says use fraction strips to find each sum. Simplify if possible. The student shows no indication of using fraction strips. He said 2/3 plus 1/6 equals 5/6, and the fractions exchanged were 2/3, 4/4/6. There is no indication of how he came up with this solution. It is possible that the student found the most common denominator, which in this situation was 6, therefore divided 3 by 2 and 2 by 3 to get the answer. Overall, there are some steps that need to be taken in order to improve the student's ability to add unlike denominators using fraction strips. He should be taught how to use fraction strips appropriately. For example, on the 3/4 and 1/8, he should have divided the top ones into 4 sections and shaded in 3. On the bottom, he should have divided into 8 sections and shaded in 1. And there he would have been able to see how many 1/8 fits into 1/4, which will show that 1/8 fits into 1/4 accurately. Some recommendations would include more modeling on how to use fraction strips, more problems with individually or in a group to show how to use fraction strips. Fraction strips are very important to find equivalency between any two fractions and to understand why 5/10 would equal to 4/8. It's the exact same thing, it's just in different number formats. In this lesson, the main idea was to add unlike denominators using fraction bars. Fraction bars were used incorrectly in this whole lesson, and they were not used as they should be. He should have used the fraction strips in every single one of his questions, but he declined to. It is as though he decided to use his multiplication facts and find the common denominator when it came to answering the questions.